I got everything, I got everything. I cannot complain, I cannot, even though they want me dead on the spot. Thanks a lot for giving me all the troubles I got. I'm just being real, cuz didn't do it, that's all him. Can't do it, that's all him. Wouldn't live without him. I'm just being for real. Thanks for the love. Didn't do it, that's all him. Can't do it, that's all him. Wouldn't live without him. I'm just being for real. You gon' fail, no disrespect. You won't clean up, but you in a mess. You live a lie, I see true. My sight good, no internet. The line I used to call the father, they can't tap or intercept. The guy before me who supposed to did his job must have passed on it, so I intercept. Exodus 3:14, the I am, they didn't interject. You act smart, but lack knowledge. Got a smart mouth, but no intellect. Wow. Israel is back. How you gon' claim Israel when Jacob was black? It must be a 13 tribe, part of Israel is that. All you do is go soft and you hardly do that. Got our identity, but give it back was a rental. Surrounded by these copycats, you copy that? Tenfold. Wow. I got everything, I got everything. I cannot complain, I cannot, even though they want me dead on the spot. Thanks a lot for giving me all the troubles I got. I'm just being real, cuz didn't do it, that's all him. Can't do it, that's all him. Wouldn't live without him. I'm just being for real. Didn't do it, that's all him. Can't do it, that's all him. Wouldn't live without him. I'm just being for real.
Shalom. This Blue the Hebrew back at you with some more revolutionary talk. And the purpose of this clip is basically to show people the political side of the Messiah and the revolutionary side of Jesus the Christ. A lot of people think of him as, or call him, a hippie on a stick, things of this nature. And a lot of people don't even believe in the Messiah. But I feel that the more I bring out this revolutionary aspect, the more people will be able to relate to his message. You understand? So today I'm going to take the angle of comparing his words and what he said about sacrificing, okay, for the cause, along with a couple revolutionary words, okay, revolutionaries words, should I say. And let's just hop into it, okay? First, I'm gonna read out of the master teacher, Christ, okay? This is St. John 16, verse 1. It says, "These things I have spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended." So he's speaking to his followers, his disciples, that he's going to speak these words so they shouldn't be offended when whatever he's about to say comes about. He says, "They shall put you out of synagogues." Now, most people think of synagogues as churches, but I understand them to be where political sessions was being held, okay, because they were teaching law in these synagogues, okay, so these are political arenas. But he says, "They shall put you out of synagogues. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he do God a service." So the master teacher here is telling us, or telling them, should I say, because a lot of people say, well, he's speaking to them. But one thing, if you're a revolutionary, you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolutionary spirit, okay? And that spirit lives on throughout all generations. So he's telling them, whosoever killeth you will think they're doing God a service, okay? And that's the same thing that happens with revolutionaries of modern time, okay? They kill people like Che Guevara, and they think they're doing God a service, okay? Or killing people like Malcolm X, okay, Gandhi, The person who killed Gandhi probably thought he was doing God a service. But the master teacher said, the time cometh that whosoever shall kill you thinks you doing God a service. Now, I bring out this stuff because I don't think most of the masses grasp the message that the Messiah Christ taught, and that was a revolutionary message. Okay, there is no way you would be getting killed if it wasn't a revolutionary message. Okay, people think Jesus was so passive and said they say he had no backbone and this, that, and the third. But why is he telling them you're gonna have to die just like I died? Because they are following the same message. And if you're pushing that same message in a wicked world after greed, people gonna take you out because of their money and because of their greed. Okay? And that's what he's telling them. So persecution is a must if you're gonna follow the Messiah. People think they get persecuted because of Sabbath days, because they keep a dietary law. That's not what the Messiah was referring to. He got persecuted by people who didn't eat pig and swine, and he got persecuted by people who kept so-called Torah or believed they did. Okay, so we just heard that from the master teacher. Now I'm going to read this book, "To Die for the People" by Huey Newton, leader of the Black Panther Party. Okay. Let me find my spot. All right, listen to this. And a reporter asking his brother a question about, okay, why don't you link up with the Communist Party of USA? Because again, Huey P. Newton stood and the Panther stood on communist principles. They studied people like Marx, Lenin, Chairman Mao, and Christ. The master teacher stood on communist principles, and we're gonna see because the principles line up. But listen to what he tells this reporter about why he would not join the American Communist Party of USA. Listen to this. He says, "I challenge the Communist Party's claim that they have prepared the way for the people." So obviously the Communist Party claimed that they have the way for the people. "The U.S. government, except for a brief period, has not taken the American Communist Party seriously, and the people have not been considered at all." Okay, meaning they are off the government's radar. "This is precisely why the Communist Party members in the USA have not been jailed and murdered in large numbers." He goes on to say what Chairman Mao tells us, okay? But we're going to get it out of the horse's mouth here in a second. But he says, "So I would charge the Communist Party with having been no threat. And they have done something wrong because they have not been crucified as the enemy is attempting to crucify us." Now, it's funny that he uses the word crucify because that's the same thing that happened to the so-called Jesus the Christ, okay? He was crucified, okay? And his disciples were crucified. And Huey P. Newton said, "You're not doing nothing unless you're crucified by the oppressors, okay? By the avaricious government, okay? You are not doing nothing." But we see that Christ, all his disciples were killed, hung, murdered, crucified. So he must have been doing something right, okay? He must have been. But listen to what Huey P. Newton said that Mao teaches him something, okay? And I just want to read it out of the horse's mouth, out of the Little Red Book, quotations of Chairman Mao. This was a Chinese revolutionary in the early 1930s, I believe, that overthrew the imperialist oppressive government of Chiang Kai-shek in China. All right? And if you haven't got the quotations of Chairman Mao, any revolutionary should have this book, okay? Because along with this book and the Master Teacher's book, which is the Bible, these teach you principles of life and how you should treat the masses of people and how you should live for the masses of people, okay? But let me go ahead and read what Chairman Mao said. So we see Huey P. Newton didn't join the Communist Party because he said they must be doing something wrong because they're not being persecuted. The Messiah said persecution must come. Okay, they are going to kill you. He says they're going to think they're doing God a service when they come kill you. Okay, he tells them in another place they will be persecuted, jailed, brought before kings and rulers for his name's sake, meaning for his authority and what he stood for his sake. Okay, let's see what another revolutionary, a man who took over China, okay, and set up communist principles in the land. Let's see what he says about persecution. This is page 15 in the Little Red Book. I hold that it is bad as far as we're concerned. Man, I was talking to, this is a quote that he's given in a speech, okay? He said, and the speech is titled, "To be attacked by the enemy is not a bad thing, but a good thing," okay? He says, I hold that it is bad as far as we are concerned if a person, a political party, an enemy, or a school is not attacked by the enemy. It's a bad thing. For in that case, it would definitely mean that we have sunk to the level of the enemy. So if you're not getting persecuted, you are still at the level of the enemy, meaning you're doing things just like the enemy wants you to do it. Chairman Mao says and teaches us, okay, it is good if we are attacked by the enemy, since it proves we have drawn a clear line of demarcation between the enemy and ourselves. It is better if the enemy attacks us wildly and paints us as utterly black and without a single virtue. It demonstrates that we have not only drawn a clear line of demarcation between the enemy and ourselves, but achieved a great deal in work. Okay? And when you're being persecuted for righteousness' sake, I mean, and that's something the so-called Hebrews should understand. When he say for righteousness' sake, because you're executing judgment and justice in the earth. Okay? And if you're judging a nation for not doing righteousness, that means they are noticing you. Okay? And not just saying it on YouTube, but actually putting the work in the streets. Okay? Chairman Mao said, if you are not persecuted, it's a bad thing. And he said it's a good thing to be persecuted because it shows that you have drawn a line between you and the enemy. Okay? Huey P. Newton said that. That's why he did not join the Communist Party of America. The Christ said that. He said they will think that they're doing God a service when they kill you because he drew a line. Okay? So, I just wanted to bring that out, how these three revolutionaries all understood the price of persecution. Right? And when persecution happens to any revolutionary, you know that you're doing or you're on the right path. Okay? When persecution from the oppressor comes, okay, you know you're on the right path and you know you're standing for something. Okay? Those who don't stand for anything will fall for anything. With that, shalom.
Tell them, I'm gonna do the work to the income. Yeah, okay, we gonna do the work to the income. Tell them. I do a lot of preaching, but I don't do no talking. Found out I was a lion, now I don't do no barking. They want me in the dirt, chained in a stone coffin. But face to face, then they get to talking like it's an auction. Stumbling over words, like nah, I ain't say that. Yeah, we fell for your old games, but nowadays we don't play that. Everywhere's where I pray at. I need my kingdom like ASAP. Can't stand for a lie, so the truth is where I lay at. They put an X on our back. Why? Cause they evil, they worried about what we do. Why? Cause we Hebrews praying for Israel from the tropicals to the igloos. Not going to say who beneath who and who equal, but if you follow the commandments, then all y'all my people. Watch what you say to us, your behind will be sheep food. Bye bye to Babylon is what I say while I leave you. And
And I'ma keep it poppin' cause my pop said I need to. I'ma do the